to radar sites. So you use it for SEED, just suppression of enemy air defenses. And this is what the South Korean ones can carry. So they can also carry the harm, so that's all I need. And I'm gonna launch as a group, but I'm not going to start it yet. Let's see, Thailand's aircraft carrier is literally a royal limousine in a hotel. Well, that makes sense with the king and all. He's kind of in a comfy position, even though all the political unrest, no one tries to defy him, it seems. Even though he doesn't hold that much political power. So I'm gonna define an area. So I'm gonna take this area right here. South Koreans are gonna hit this. So add new mission. See, it's gonna be a patrol, SEED patrol. ROK SEED. And then right here, we can see this is everything I have. Kunsan, see, this is why I don't usually place my own air bases, because you need a lot of stuff, and you need to know what's. So it's okay. So let's see. Korean ones, active missions only inside prosecution area. This is where they'll actually take out targets, and yeah, the Korean ones are gonna be taking out the AA in this area and radar, while the American ones will take out the other side. Actually, I did a mission like this a few days ago, except it also involved a B-2 strike on a nuclear bunker. So, create new mission. US SEED. SEED patrol. So let's see. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, actually. Delete mission. Okay, so now I'm going to define a new. See, these are missions. These kind of make it easier to just. Actually, I'm gonna delete that one. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Delete selected reference points. Find area. Here we go. This is the area that the U.S. is gonna strike. Add new mission. Control. See, we also right here we have mine clearing operations. We have mining operations. We have ferry operations, which is just taking a something from point A to point B, just to move it from airbase to airbase. Support. So this is like recon, aerial refueling. Patrols. We got just all these different types of patrols. Sea controls, just the general to take out everything. We got naval, ground. We also have strike. Strike, you usually designate specific targets. You usually don't designate an area for that. But let's go back to patrol. SEED patrol. US SEED. Now we're gonna get that. And this active emissions only inside patrol prosecution area. And looks like both missions are active, and we're gonna see the let's skip ahead a little. So we got the first group going out, looks like the Americans. And we got the second group, and look at all those radar contacts. It looks like, wow, it looks like they got some range on the American ones. It looks like they're already firing off at that P-37 Barlock. A Barlock, I'm assuming, is a like a NATO designation, I'm assuming. A lot of these Eastern systems have kind of funny names, like Tin Shield, Backnet, Flat Face. Let's see. Spanish ship Juan Carlos, what did he say? Oh, wow, that is an advance. Yeah, that's amphibious assault ship, similar to an aircraft carrier. Yeah, because in the U.S. Navy, this would not be considered an aircraft carrier. This would be considered an assault ship. U.S. Navy launches Harriers from those, as well as helicopters. So that's what a lot of countries are moving to, especially with I'm assuming they fly Harriers off of it. Yeah, Harriers or F-35s. Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, these technically really aren't considered carriers. Let's go back to the current situation. Looks like the right here you can see where their target is. Tall King. That's a Tall King right there. because we're auto, they're set to automatically engage targets. They can I'd say they misuse their ammo. They're pretty wasteful. Map settings switched again. Yeah, it looks like not all the Koreans are in a unit. Huh, interesting. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. I think I got a little lazy. Oh no, it's just because of the sections. I have them flying in there doing that, but oh well. Oh, those are the Falcons that have expended their ammo. The American ones are all in one group, so they're not doing that. Oh, except this one. Falcon 1 is South Korean. Yeah, let's skip time. Okay, new contact, Vampire. Looks like the North Koreans are launching missiles at the F-16s, actually. Very large contrail detected, close. Let's see how this... Looks like they evaded. And it looks like the anti-radiation missiles are actually pretty effective, so this kind of gives you a good overview of how the mission system works and kind of just how simple the game can be if you aren't really playing a complex mission. And you can just go, the AI, pretty smart, not too much micromanaging involved. Yeah, it looks like this says all weapon seekers were spoofed, so the ECM was pretty effective. And it looks like they're gonna fly on back to base. And normally the mission would be, and so they're gonna fly back to base and rearm. They're all out of harms. See, last time I tried this, I actually had 8 per group, so it was a little more effective. I'm just gonna ready them immediately and see how they go on their business. Arm ready immediately, and I don't think they'll automatically. Yeah, they won't automatically take off, so I'll have to manually tell them to take off. Oh no, yeah, looks like they're taking off. Oh, interesting. Looks like they didn't. Yeah. Okay, here they are. Okay, yeah, they're all taking off. Launches group. Launches group. More vampires. See, I used to think amphibious, so yes, because they're more small. Yeah, they're more economical than the super carriers of the USA. Plus, the Spanish really aren't gonna be doing that much force projection anyway. I'd say most naval operations that European countries usually do outside of like kind of joint stuff. Like we look at France, their biggest recent military operation was like it was counterinsurgency. So they had bases in the area, so they didn't they don't need a super carrier for that. The super carrier is more of a result of the Cold War than anything. When you needed like entire fighter groups to deal with just the whole Russian fleet. Let's see, harm missiles. I'm gonna skip ahead. More vampires. More vampires. See, it looks like the F-16s are dodging the North Korean missiles pretty good. Pretty well. So I'm gonna switch to Red 4 and see what those are. SA-5s. Oh, okay. Gammon. So this is what they're shooting. It's a old Russian from 1972 is what I can find on the Russian one. There's also a nuclear variant. During the Cold War, they made a U.S. and Russia. I don't know if anyone else did. Made nuclear anti-air missiles to take out entire bomber formations. Let's see, bogey. Yeah, these are the F-16s. It doesn't see the F-16. Oh, no, it does see the F-16s in this area. It just doesn't recognize them as a threat. Doesn't identify them. But to fix that, I am going to select everything the North Koreans have and set their... So they're free. They'll fire at any contact. Doesn't have to be a hostile. So there we go. We should start seeing the North Koreans firing off a lot more missiles now. See if they can evade. Yep, looks like successfully evaded. And let's see what these arms hit. Okay, looks like one radar sight's down, another radar sight's down. One of them looks like it missed. A few more going its way though. Missed. Okay, so right now we just look at the situation on the ground, or not the ground, but so right now you can see there's some pretty big gaps in the North Korean air defense system right now. Now, realistically, there'd be mobile anti-air as well as like Strelas and stuff that aren't radar based. So there'd still be some threats there. That's pretty important because most of the high-end stuff now is mobile. So not that the North Koreans have any high-end mobile anti-air, but for example, the Russian S-400, Russian S-300. So no, see right now, I could probably fly around here with the impunity if I wanted to. See, Sam's this checking the range. So we're looking at the range. See that? That's the range right there for that. That's the range right there for that. See, so if I were to see, I have a full path all the way through North Korea. Actually, if I were to fly right through there, nothing could hit me. Now, see, the most of their defenses are around their capitals, is where Pyongyang is. But yeah, that's just an example of how missions work and how effective the seed operations are. I'm gonna go back to create a new one, just see if there's anything else you guys would want to see. Russia had a lot of really freaking... Oh yeah, nuclear SAMs. Yep, they're also nuclear anti-ship missiles to take out entire fleets. Because there was... they weren't... there was a debating theories on whether that would be acceptable or not. Because some people argue that, well, yeah, you're nuking the middle of the ocean, or you're nuking middle of the ocean thousands of feet up, 1,000 meters up. But then some people say, well, this could cause escalation, that might justify the use of tactical nuclear missiles in Europe, Korea, Japan. So but yeah, I don't know if it would ever be used, but yeah. I think both sides had nuclear. I don't know if the Americans had nuclear anti-ship missiles, but they probably did. I know the Russians did, as well as nuclear anti-air missiles. But yeah, just so it's there. Actually, I should try that. Let's see. Add one side. Let's see. What did you say? What? Yeah, that would escalate. Yeah, that was the worry. Because some people said, well, no, it wouldn't escalate. It's the middle of the ocean you're nuking. And then some people were like, yeah, they probably would, because then they'd be using nukes against us. And then so it is an interesting theory. In fact, the German president, defense ministers actually wanted to pull back forces from the front lines and rely on nuclear artillery along their borders. And the U.S. was terrified of the idea and told them no, because they knew that would cause escalation. I don't know which if this was the 70s or 60s, but yeah, that was actually proposed by the Germans. The U.S. shot the idea down, though. Yeah, kill and pollute the ocean life, irradiate the fish. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about the Cold War era, and really, I don't think that would have been a factor. Nowadays it would, so nowadays you'd probably never use such a weapon. I'm pretty sure every country has scrapped them. I think even the Russians probably scrapped their nuclear SAMs. Let's see.